is this going to be absolutely atrocious?
Yep.
I
Okay.
would like to apologize to the entirety of England.
Speaking for the entirety of England, I accept your apology.
Fuck you, I wasn't talking to you.
Speaking as a Canadian who was technically part of the Commonwealth and who lived in England for 3 months, so therefore I get to call myself British. I don't give a shit.
Hey Quinn, have you ever been to England by any chance?
I have! I got to live there for
Holy
3 months,
shit.
and it was awesome, and I loved it. It was in 2014, and it was lovely, and it was with my university group, and my favorite restaurant that I discovered over there was TGI Fridays, because I don't have that here where I live, but apparently everywhere else in the world does.
Yep.
What was it?
TGI Fridays.
I don't know what that is.
When I was in London, I saw Ed Sheeran and Lady Gaga, and I
Oh
saw
my
Book
God.
of Mormon. And
Wait.
yeah.
Just a question. I'm going to assume it wasn't, but was Ed Sheeran and Lady Gaga on the same day?
No.
I was like, wait, have they toured together? No, I'm stupid. Sorry.
It was like a week or two apart from each other. Ed Sheeran was showing our midterm break. Gaga was just on the weekend. And it was also where I learned that I really like to travel, and I hate that I live on an island where the nearest place I can travel to is like a 6-hour flight that cost almost $1,000, so...
Can you go to Labrador?
It's a very big island.
Okay, first of all, Labrador is like $2,000 to fly there, even though technically it is the same province I live in.
Yes.
Well,
which is-
I live in the Netherlands. Pee pee
Yeah.
poo poo.
I also live in the Netherlands.
I'm so sorry.
Where do you live in the Netherlands?
Brabant.
The joke here, everyone watching, is that they live together.
Actually, we don't. I've never met this person.
I've never been to Brabant, but I hear it's lit there.
Fuck you.
Oh yeah, it's lit. That's a term we use often.
That's a joke that... Well, it's a joke.
Okay.
It's it would take some explaining, I think.
You should explain Brabant.
Oh my. My contact
Brabant.
just came out, so you guys keep talking. We're still recording. I'm just gonna go fix my eyes so I can see.
Why didn't you
Sure,
explain
no.
Brabant to all the lovely people?
Yes, Brabant is a lovely song by the lovely Guus Meeuwis, who is a Dutch artist that I like, ironically or unironically. You can decide on that. And yeah, that's Brabant.
I hear that it is
Oh,
a
and there's
night.
oh yeah, it is also enough. And there's a town in Brabant called Lit, which is also quite lit. Hey! Oh, my friends apparently walked past the house of Guus Meeuwis the other day.
Oh, really? I'm jealous.
They sat down. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess.
Who was that?
I don't know. I don't remember. Someone.
And then they would go on to be part of the same story in Day of the Doctor.
God,
I mean, that wasn't
Sort
Rose,
of.
though, was it?
But they also wouldn't. Yeah, you're right.
that wasn't Rose. No, that was just Bad Wolf.
That was just someone that looked like Rose a lot, but wasn't her, though.
The entity.
But the best when Clara said something about the Bad Wolf guard.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
I've seen Day of the Doctor, fuck you.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of Doctor Who and the Day of the Doctor, I own a signed copy of the 50th anniversary book, and it's signed by Tom Baker. I bought
Oh,
it
okay.
when I went
Genuinely
to-
quite nice.
I bought it when I went to the studio in Cardiff, when I was living in England for 3 months. I took a train over. It was lovely. I love trains. There's no trains where I live. I do like trains. And
Trains are
I
great, it's
have
true.
sonic screwdriver that actually is a real screwdriver.
Holy shit! So it's like finally it's an actual. It never acts as a fucking screwdriver in the show. I've been like.
Point, put a picture up that was taken from your desk of the sonic screwdriver. And fun story, I got my younger cousins into Doctor Who, and when they were helping my grandfather put together a coffee table, he sent them off to me to get a screwdriver, and I gave them the sonic screwdriver. And he said, nice, but no, a real screwdriver. So I pulled it apart and showed him the screwdriver part. And he went, oh, that's sick. And I was the cool cousin for another 4 months before he became too cool for me. I wanted to
Nice.
So.
I don't even know how screwdrivers work.
Oh. No, that's because the Dutch are used to, Allen keys. Or was that IKEA? Is IKEA Dutch or Swiss?
Swedish!
Okay.
IKEA is IKEA. Well, IKEA is, you know.
IKEA.
IKEA is IKEA.
Dutch
No,
is Legos, right?
Alex doesn't know anything about
No, that's Danish.
It's not me.
Oh my, well, you know what? I am Canadian, I did not take geography. Everything is just Europe. It's just Europe.
Fucking American.
Canadian.
Yeah, no,
You didn't
Denmark
pay attention.
is.
You are
Denmark,
being
Sweden
very
is where
American
the Vikings
right now.
come from.
I still spell everything with the unneeded U, I'll have you know. And I
Should we
spell
get on with
check
it?
with a QU and not a CK.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
do it, baby. I
Alright,
want that.
so-
I'm going to cry.
The title is The Magic Post Generations Fics. It is written by SCWLC. Disclaimer, if you recognize it, I don't own it. Summary, the Doctor regenerated 4 rows in more ways than one. Crack fic. Notes. So, this has been a trope in Doctor Who fic, which I have taken to calling the Magic Vibrator Venus trope. This is something you
This
see
is
in
a
few
trope.
fics. It's a trope. This is some things you see in a few fics. Blue Dawn's Blue series, which if you are Dr. O shipper and you haven't read it, then you should go read now, being only one example. Basically, we know the Doctor's not human, so logically his penis isn't human either. And if you're going to write smut, you might as well make his alien bits as fun for Rose as you can. I've seen a rabbit clitoral stimulator and a variety of things that separate off the erection for extra stimulation. The point is, sometimes it's basically written as though the Doctor's misfits are custom built to please a human woman. So, running with the notion that the Doctor regenerated in order to please Rose, I written this bit of smut. Also, the timeline may have been massaged a bit. You might say a personal massaged. Just a bit. And before I read the second note, this time I'm not joined by Lily, because she wanted money. So, fuck her. Instead, I have Alex! Alex is back! And Vallejo! And it's gonna be ridiculous and we're back to erotic fanfic.
You just cannot get rid of me.
So, note number 2.
No one can.
No one can. This is rapid silliness.
You
Do not
certainly
take
can't.
it seriously. Oh, we definitely
No,
will
I-
not take it seriously.
I will take it seriously. If you haven't like gotten everything in line perfectly with Doctor Who canon, I'm going to shit on you. I'm so sorry.
Also, any representatives from ACTRA, hit me up. My voice talents are for hire. Especially if you require me to do a accent. Like one, say, to match Billy Piper. I don't know, I mean, ring my bell and all that. That's a song she sang.
But before we get going, I would just like to say something. And that is that I've never been much of a mobile gamer, but forget everything you know about mobile games, because Raid Shadow Legends is one of the most ambitious RPG projects of 2019. It's just been
Leo,
released and will change
Leo.
everything. Just look at the
Leo,
level
I
of
have to
details
tell
of
you
these
something.
characters. If you use the code in the description, you can start with 50,000 silver and join the special launch tournament. And you better hurry, because it's getting big fast. You can play for totally free with the link below on your smartphone.
Leo, I have to tell you something. Raid Shadow Legends dropped out, and our sponsor for now is it's actually Audible, so yeah.
Fuck.
Actually, since neither of you deal with the business side of this channel, you're both wrong. Our actual true sponsor for this video is NordVPN. Do you like to
Holy shit!
Do you like
So I can serve online safely? Wow!
You've
Well,
been
in that
sick
case-
and tired of the Chinese government reading your emails? Me too. Sign up for NordVPN
No, it's for me, it's the FBI.
with the link
in that
below for a chance to get 2 months free. And every time you sign up like a good MLN, I get an extra percentage. So click
Hell
the
yeah.
link. What was that, Alejo? What were you gonna
Nice.
say?
I'm just looking for a NordVPN copy pasta.
But seriously, we're not sponsored. We make no money. We have no views. If you want to
We
sponsor
need to get-
us, hit me up. I have met some famous Canadian people like Mary Walsh. I spent 3 months with her in England.
It's important to say that staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and you could be exploited by hackers. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. Check out the link in the description to get 20% off for the first 2 months. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video.
I use NordVPN so I can watch Hulu in Canada. What? And also so I can watch BBC One in Canada.
Speaking of Hulu, we are also sponsored by...
This bit's gone on too long, I think.
Personally, hold on, let's see if I can find another one.
Okay.
Stop!
It
No,
went on
you
too
can't.
long
We have to
before I
save.
ignored.
We have to save some for other videos, you bitch. Today, I'm sponsored by NordVPN. Tomorrow, who knows?
Who knows? Maybe we will be sponsored by this small independent video editor company I've heard called Quinn Editing. Need something
I can't
edited?
find it.
Hit me up.
But
On
we're
Quinn's
actually using Surfshark. I am currently in Manchester.
I'm actually using Surfshark for real.
Yeah, me too.
Guys, don't let Nord hear this.
Did you sign up because you got like 2 years free with the YouTubers code?
No,
Oh, I did.
I signed up because it was the cheapest one.
I went from ExpressVPN, which was like 200 a year, to... Oh god, who was the YouTuber? I don't even remember anymore. So, anyways, someone did it and they said, like, if you sign up now, you'll save like 80% and get on a 3-year subscription and get like the first 2 years free. And I was like, sweet! And it cost me like $5 for 3 years.
I think I'm paying about £30 a year, something
Yeah.
like that. It's not bad, to be fair. We've been watching Doctor Who with it on BBC iPlayer.
Speaking of Doctor Who, what a lovely segue.
Oh,
Oh,
also,
mwah.
for Canadian viewers, Doctor Who is no longer on Netflix, but it is on Crave.
It's
why-
also on BBC iPlayer if you've got Surfshark or NordVPN, today's sponsor.
Maybe next week, Bella Line Crave will sponsor us. Have you seen Letterkenny? No, no one has. But it's funny.
I have just one question for you.
Oh god. I'm scared.
Doctor Who?
Doctor what?
Oh! Ooh! Yeah. Doctor... Doctor...
For
Where?
who?
Alright, so...
Doctor when? Doctor how?
Everyone always asks Doctor Who. No one ever asks Doctor How.
Doctor Y.
Doctor, why are we still here just to suffer?
You can make this intro into an entire video of its own, Quinn.
I mean, it's been going on for 16 minutes.
Intro.
Okay, so much like Doctor and Rose trying to get the Queen of England to say we are not amused, we have made everyone not amused for way too long. So, without further ado, we shall begin the Magic Post-Generation Super Bits.
I hate this title already. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Though neither Rose nor the Doctor could have guessed at the time, it all started with Rose's 20th birthday present. Keisha and Shireen had slipped it to her right before she'd left with the Doctor, telling her that she'd need it if she and her northern bloke really weren't going at it like rabbits. It had got quite a bit of use since its arrival. Between Jack and his innuendo, the Doctor being the Doctor, and all the adrenaline, there had been a lot of time to play around with all the functions. She'd been giving it a really good cleaning off and changing the batteries when she was interrupted by the Doctor being impatient and dragging them off on another adventure. She found the Doctor in the hallway just outside her room looking at it quizzically.
Go! Oh no! I can't do it now! Do you know what this is, Rose? I found it on the floor outside your room. That wasn't an accident, I'm sorry.
Just her luck that Jack appeared as she answered.
It's me vibrator, Doctor. Would you give it back, please?
Really? Jack swept in and snatched it away, looking it over with an apparently expert eye. The Doctor looked appalled and vaguely concerned by the whole affair. Interesting. So, he prodded at one lump. G-spot stimulator? The thing about Jack was that he wasn't the least bit coy or precious about sex, and it meant that talking about it was somehow less a matter of giggles and whispers, and more just the same sort of conversation you'd have with a mate about which were your favourite roller coasters at an amusement park, or what made a good action flick.
Yeah, Shireen and Keisha spent a lot on it, actually. See, there's the rabbit bit.
Clitoral stimulator? Jack interrupted to ask.
Yeah.
She said.
It's all got everything on it. Shireen thought I should have the best. It's better than the one that's supposed to look like the real thing. Because they don't come with the extras, yeah?
Jack nodded. I don't think I've seen a better design, actually. I mean, the power source is a little primitive, but that's a really nice one. He turned on his full shagadelic grin on her and asked, I don't suppose you'd be up to sharing playtime with your toy, would you?
No, she would not!
The Doctor snapped.
Your humans and your mating rituals, come on!
He added, snatching it up and flinging it through Rose's bedroom door with distaste.
Oh, that's my part. There's a lovely spot on Fidelia Minor. Makes fantastic onion rings.
Like Fidelia onions?
Rose asked. The Doctor aimed that mad grin at her and made her knees wobble.
Sorrow's got his name! Best place in the universe to grow onions. That was Scottish, that was not Northern.
He told them. They ran off to have more adventures, and Rose forgot, for the most part, about the conversation about the super fancy vibrator, although the item itself got a lot of use. The Doctor sighed as he headed into the wardrobe looking for a new outfit. The last thing he thought clearly as the regeneration energies had taken hold was that he'd turn into the right man for Rose. He'd wanted it so badly, and now she was skittish as a nervous horse around him. Younger? Check. Prettier? Check. Fantastic hair? Check. Speech patterns like hers? Check. Funner and lighter? Check. She'd asked him to change back.
Interrupt here.
Absolutely not.
How dare you do Christopher Eccleston dirty like this? Prettier? Fuck you.
Although no one can disagree about the hair.
Yeah, that's fair. It's true that the Ninth Doctor is bald.
Also, he was feeling a little off-kilter down below. He'd never worried over much about his masculine equipment, but this was a little more significant in size than he was used to. Felt a little odd as well. Once he was safely ensconced behind a screen to start looking through the options he picked for himself, the Doctor pulled back the waistband of his pants and took a good look at the one bit of him that felt truly strange.
Blimey!
He said as he took in the new shape of the bits therein. His eyes widened as it stiffened right up, the thought that he definitely regenerated into the right man for Rose in one way at least whispering through his mind.
Two heads indeed,
he muttered before giving some carefully calculated thought to making the crotch of his trousers just a smidgen bigger on the inside to go with the pockets.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
It was right after Queen Victoria had decided that they should be banished from England forever that it happened. They'd been discussing where to go next now that the Doctor had proved once again that he clearly failed whatever driver's courses there were for TARDISes. TARDISes? When it just sort of happened. Rose had been leaning in closer and closer, and the Doctor had been playing with her fingers, and it just sort of happened, the snogging. The Doctor was clutching Rose close, his fingers massaging her bum, his very, very agile tongue doing wonderful things inside her mouth, while Rose was simply clinging to the Doctor like a limpet, something he encouraged by hoisting her up to wrap her legs around his hips, while he made his way into the door that had conveniently placed itself right at the entrance to the console room. It was all in dark wood and red silk and velvet fireplace with a gorgeous fur rug in front of it, and beautiful paintings of romantic sunsets and a ceiling that opened onto a starry night sky. Neither Rose nor the Doctor noticed the TARDIS was a little miffed. She'd gone to a lot of effort to get it all right, because he was fervently involved in peeling Rose out of her top and that sexy little denim thing she was wearing, and Rose was trying to unbutton his shirt and get at some of the skin she knew he had under there somewhere. Still, she felt a niggling concern about the way that the Doctor was all over her, sounding enthusiastic, making all the right moans and groans and whimpers. Everything he was doing was just right, but for some reason there was absolutely no action coming from his crotch.
Doctor?
She asked between frantic kisses.
Do you not...
It was so hard to think of the right thing to say while he was licking at her breasts that way.
What?
He asked, finally raising his head.
Huh? Oh.
It took Rose a moment to shake off the wonderfully heady, dazed feelings he'd been giving her with his ministrations.
It's just, he would have blocked me hard by now, and you're... not.
She said, cupping the front of his trousers. He made a choke noise, his hips bucking sharply into her hand.
Oh, that's me, haha. Trousers are... Rose.
He nuzzled at her neck a moment before pulling himself together to fumble out.
Bigger on the inside.
That was interesting enough that Rose tackled him to the bed and hastily tugged the pinstripes off his legs, along with his socks and plum soles, then biting her lip in anticipation, tugged his pants down. What she saw made her jaw drop.
Doctor?
She asked, voice trembling a little in sudden worry.
Your bits, they... is there something I need to know?
The Doctor looked down, then at Rose, then sighed.
Rose, when I regenerated, you remember how I said it was a dodgy process?
Yeah?
She replied, unsure where he was heading with this.
Well, sometimes it can be controlled a bit. I hadn't normally tried all that hard, but this time...
He paused, then glanced away.
I was sort of thinking of you.
What?
Rose leaned over, pulling him around to look at her.
Slower, please. It can't be that bad.
I was thinking about you.
He said.
And I might have been thinking about the vibrator you have.
He added. Rose's eyes went wide, her hand sliding down to cup the erection that had flagged a little during the brief interlude. A few strokes and his hips were jerking in time with her hands. Then Rose leant over and he whimpered as he felt her breath ghost over his length.
So this...
Her tongue slid over a little prong coming off at the base, making his head fall back at the sensation.
is like the rabbit ears for my clit.
Probably.
He gasped.
And this...
Her lips closed around a distended little extension partway down, sucking him up, getting it to make a rhythmic, circular stroking motion, and the Doctor to clutch at Rose's head desperately.
This is for my rehab, right?
Words were beyond him. He grunted. His whole cock was pulsating in little bursts. The small, hard bumps that covered the whole surface were rising and falling, a texture that had Rose fascinated with the possibilities they offered.
And these are like that little rotating bit with the...
He couldn't stand it anymore, and he flipped them over, interested in examining Rose's bits. She was very wet and very ready, and he decided that he could spend more time seeing how she tasted next time. As he sank into her, he felt all his new little bits and pieces on his cock begin to move, and Rose wrapped herself around him, clinging and moaning his name over and over again. It had been a long time for him, and he thrust in and out, He hoped all those new parts were doing the jobs they were supposed to, because he was going to orgasm any second now. The new bits were definitely doing their jobs. Rose had thought once that the vibrator was better than sex with a regular bloke, because it was designed to make her feel good, while blokes just kind of had something that didn't do all the work. And if they weren't any good, they didn't do the rest, leaving you all unsatisfied. The doctor's cock was brilliant, she decided. The part at the base sliding around her clit perfectly on every thrust, something like a finger, only broader and a little softer, and just perfect stroking at her deep inside.
Jesus Christ.
And all those little bumps swelling and shrinking along her walls. It was all fantastic and perfect, and she came so fast it made her head spin. The doctor followed right after, collapsing on top of Rose with a grunt, then rolling off her and pulling her close.
That was brilliant.
He murmured.
It really was.
She agreed. They cuddled together, basking.
I love you.
He said, the words flying out before he even realised he was going to say them.
Love you too, Doctor.
Rose told him with a smile, kissing him sweetly. Then she yawned.
Try.
Smiling tenderly at her, he said,
Why don't you have a kip? I'll be here when you wake up. What's a kip? Is that like a nap?
I think so,
Yeah.
context-wise.
It's the chicken.
Alright. It's a chicken. It's Dutch for chicken. That doesn't help.
She said, snuggling into his arms. He settled in to enjoy the time with her curled up with him, eyes closed, contemplating life, the universe, and everything that was Rose. The doctor's eyes snapped open a moment later as he felt Rose gently pat the base of his penis and mutter something that seemed aimed towards his crotch.
Love you too.
Did you just tell my penis you love it? Right, that was horrific.
Hang on, I think we left a quote review last time. I want to double check if we did. We did!
Oh yeah.
From Alan! Love that ending line! I didn't get to say any Jack bits, so 2 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, we tried to
Yeah,
record
fair.
this before. Quinn, would you like to say what happened to that one?
OBS decided that instead of exporting like it usually does, it was going to export a corrupted file that couldn't be used.
A poor workman
It's
blames
very
the tools,
corrupted.
Quinn.
Well, you know what? Sometimes OBS likes to have its little tantrums, and there's nothing I can do about that.
I feel like you just wanted to get me to reread all of this.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you not want to reread it with Jack's parts?
I did want to read it with Jack's parts, that's true.
Oh, well, then everyone's happy except for Alex, who was forced into this.
No, I wasn't. I can leave whenever I want to.
Right, just like how I can no longer close my office door because of my Ethernet cord. So I don't even have any semblance of privacy from my parents while reading erotic fanfics.
I'm sure they're very proud of you.
Oh, my communications degree is doing wonders.
Oh god. Well, I have my cat here to listen to me, so that's nice.
So that
Oh,
was
is she
it.
there?
Yeah.
Quinn, put up a picture of the cat at this point.
Here's a picture of the cat. I think the cat's name is Glotcher. I don't know, it's hard to tell
Yeah.
with no accents.
Watch you.
Glotcher.
It's fine. She doesn't care. She's a cat.
Alex
She's a
can probably
cat
say it better
that
than me.
speaks Dutch. and
Lutcher.
English.
Luch, yeah.
It's a
That's
bilingual
probably
cat.
what Google will call her. Luch. Text to speech.
So that's it. Sorry for no Attack on Titan stuff, but you know, Lily's demanding money or something. So, also that editing Quinn is taking her sweet time with those animations. So enjoy a good old-fashioned Quinner friends read, even though these two people with me were not meant to be my friends.
Well,
I won't.
See you
Fuck
next
you.
week! On that note of fuck you! See you next week!
I mean, hopefully this video gets uploaded if editor Quinn doesn't accidentally delete it all again.
Okay,
Oh,
first of
Peanut.
all, it was not editing Quinn that did anything. It was recording Quinn.
Sure.
Bye.